I know you have very little concerns about getting hit, but was it nice to get that out of the way today?
Yeah, it was nice. At least get one before the season starts, But, yeah, I mean, most important thing for me, like in spring training, is just making it through healthy and making sure you got enough reps where you feel like you're good once the season starts. And I felt, pretty solid at the plate, and I've made some good contact that just hasn't really fallen or, got caught around the track area. But it was nice to get that one now.
Yeah, watching you all spring, you've been hitting the ball hard, a lot to the opposite way. You have to feel good just about where your swing's at.
Yeah, I feel good. Like I said, in spring training, I don't necessarily care as much about the results, more about just staying healthy and making sure that, when I'm ready whenever the season does start.
How has the support system been for you here the first time away from Houston in your career?
I mean, it's obviously a little different just being with a new team, new teammates, and different organization. But I mean, everyone in here's made it pretty easy transition, just feeling comfortable in the clubhouse and out on the field and everything. So I think it's gone really well so far.
Kyle, what did you think of the silent treatment when you got to the dugout?
I wasn't sure if that was going to happen or not, and then obviously it did. And then PCA everyone was mad at PCA because he dabbed me up and stuff. So they were yelling at him. But it was funny. It was a good time.
It seemed like in that previous at bat, right before the homer, I mean, you seemed like just missed it, almost the same spot. Like, can you tell on those close balls, like, that you're right there? How is that something that you read into? I know you said you don't really look a whole lot at results at this time of year, but I'm just curious what your instant analysis is after at bats like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a few balls like that, and if they get down, great. If they don't, did what I could on them. But I mean, I've just missed a few balls that I hit well, but they just didn't quite catch the barrel or didn't carry or just didn't fall. So I don't think too much into stuff like that. I just I did what I could out there and made a good at bat and pieced up the ball pretty decently, and it's roughly all I can do and control.
What sort of environment or atmosphere are you expecting in Japan? Just opening day, star-studded Dodgers team, your first game in a Cubs uniform. What did you sort of expect? I
mean, obviously, I haven't ever been over to Japan, so I don't exactly know how it's going to go, but I'm expecting to have a good crowd and good fans out there, and expect a good game. I mean, obviously we're playing against the reigning World Series champs, so I mean they're going to go out there and try and win games just like we are. So we just got to show up and play good ball.
Where are your legs at right now? Spring training, getting used to cleats, getting your legs strong. Do you feel season ready with your legs right now?
Yeah, I feel fine right now. I mean, we do plenty of outfield work and base running and stuff like that just to get conditioned for whenever the season does start, just so you can get used to playing every single day and be good to go. And we do a good amount of stuff in the weight room as well with them, so I feel fine.
What about these crowds out here and the amazing support they have? Does it more feel like a regular season like yesterday and today than spring training?
Yeah, I mean, I think yesterday, we had a record-setting, attendance in baseball, so it was pretty cool to see. And I've heard that we have the best fans that show up to pretty much every game, whether the team's winning or losing, or whether it's spring training or the regular season or what. So it's pretty cool to just see and be part of, and just be out there playing with all the fans like that.
All right, coming up, 30 clubs in 15 days. Mesa, Arizona, home of the Chicago Cubs. One-time home of Mark DeRosa. You talked to Kyle Tucker, a guy you managed. Going to have a big season with the Cubs.
He has to have a big season for this team. I mean, that's why he was brought over. I don't want him to feel the pressure that he has to carry the offense. There's a lot to go around. But the fans on the north side of Chicago are going to fall in love with this guy.
Also, Showtime with Shota Imanaga and Pete Crow Armstrong. Trying on a new hairstyle? You'll find out. Welcome to 30 Clubs in 15 Days, presented by T-Mobile. Finds us in Mesa, Arizona, the home of the Chicago Cubs, where all the fans were out. Sellout crowd, over 16,000 here this Saturday, just to go check out their beloved Cubbies. And alongside Mark DeRosa, I'm Adnan Burke. Speaking of beloved Cubbies, as a former Cubs legend,
This is awesome.
I mean, you were welcomed in the clubhouse like you were still playing.
Thank you, Cubbies. Red carpet treatment. You didn't forget about 07 and 08. I thought you might have. I always say the day I got traded, one of the worst days of my life out of this
Seriously,
organization.
you love the vibe as far as Cubs fans are concerned. Listen, Dero, there's big expectations for this team. They have not made the playoffs since 2020. Last couple of years, 83 and 79. It feels like they got to win the division this year.
And you feel it. I mean, Jed Hoyer went out. He solidified the bullpen. He went out and made a major trade for Kyle Tucker, obviously letting Cody Bellinger go. But there is expectation that this team's got to make a deep playoff run.
And part of the strength of this team is their starting staff, particularly that 1-2 punch. Rare to see a couple of lefties bolstering your rotation. Shota Imanaga, who throws 92 when the average fastball is 94, but he's got great rise on it, great spin rate. And Justin Steele, who I know you think is one of the more underrated pitchers.
Yeah, he doesn't get... Nobody barrels Justin Steele up. Going back to Shota Imanaga, it's about falling in love with him. His first start in Wrigley Field last year, I mean, he's walking off the mound.
Are you not entertained?
Right? How could you not love it? And then on the flip side, Jamison Tyon gives them a little right-handed mix-up, and then Matthew Boyd is coming off a great postseason start.
Kyle Tucker, a guy you managed with Team USA. Again, lofty expectations. His 162-game average, he's 32 home runs, he's 107 RBI. He's bringing a lot of pop in the middle side.
He's one of the most talented ball players. He is the true epitome of a five-tool talent. I just don't feel like he has to feel like he has to carry this team. A lot of guys have to step up. The Dansby Swansons, Michael Busch has got to build off a great first year. There's a lot to go around here.
Yeah, Tucker's first year in Chicago and clearly going into his walk year, so he wants to have a strong season. And you asked him about making that transition to Chicago.
I mean, it's a little different. Obviously, I spent my whole career up to this point with the Astros, but I mean, like I said, pretty much right when I got traded over here, I don't think I could have gone to a much better organization than the Cubs. I mean, the fan base here is, second to none, and the teammates and front office, coaching staff, everyone that I've talked to and met so far have been, amazing. It's kind of been like pretty easy transition just to feel comfortable and everything out here. So I'm excited to finish up spring training, finish it healthy, get to Japan, then start the season. Get to Chicago and start playing.
What's your preparation like? What do you use in spring training for?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is just making sure you get through it healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, spring training, you just try and come out, get used to playing baseball every single day, putting the cleats on every day, getting at bats, and throwing, and making sure your body's essentially up to speed and healthy enough for when the season starts, you can just go after it.
From an Astro standpoint, God, you were in a lineup littered with stars. You come over here, obviously there's stars in this lineup as well, but there's been such a mad rush to talk about you. Do you think to yourself, or you try and downplay the fact that there's so much expectation on you coming over here?
I mean, I get it, but I don't necessarily take it that way. I'm not the only one that goes out in the field and plays. I don't go on the mound. I'm not fielding every position. I don't hit every time. It's more of a team sport. I just do my part to try and help out everyone in the clubhouse and do my best out in the field, whether it's in the field, on the bases, in the box, whatever I can, just to help our team score some runs, prevent runs, and try and win games.
It's funny. During Team USA, I don't think people realize this. This man started the group chat. He's sneaky funny with the gifts and everything. Have you done that yet? Have your teammates gotten to know your sense of humor?
A little bit, not as much. I don't know exactly like who all's in the group chat or anything, or whether it's like everyone or just position players, like the coaching staff or anyone yet. But I'll definitely start sticking around, especially once the season starts.
All right, I got to ask the Twitter question right here. Robert asked, you guys are getting ready to go to Japan in 2 days. What's the first meal choice for you the first night in Tokyo?
So my favorite food is sushi.
Really?
So I'm really excited to try some of the stuff over there.
You can't just say sushi. Give me something.
I mean,
Yellowtail, you Toro, what are you going?
My favorite's probably eel.
Ooh,
but I'll try some yellowtail, tuna, salmon, whatever. Try them out.
So you're excited to go to Japan?
Yeah, I'm pumped up. Try that, some Wagyu.
Is Wagyu a scam? I mean, you're paying double for a bone-in fillet, basically.
I know, right?
No?
It's good, though.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Melt in your mouth?
It does.
All right.
When's the last time you saw a tailgate party for a spring training game? A sellout crowd of 16,000 on hand. Plenty of good eats here in Chicago for the Bears. No, it's the Cubs. 30 clubs in 15 days presented by T-Mobile here in Mesa, Arizona. Joined now by one of the stars of this team, Shota Imanaga. Shota, how do you think year two will differ from year one?
2年目は1年目とどう違うと思いますか？ キャンプの流れも分かってるので。
Yeah, I understand the flow of spring training this year, so I think the transition into the season should be smooth.
One of the great things about you is that the average fastball velocity is 94 miles an hour. Your fastball is 92. Why is your fastball able to be so effective?
I think the fact that my fastball velocity is under the average means there's separation from the norm. I think that's why it's unique.
Yeah, I think part of it too is you're able to make your fastball rise. How are you able to do that? Get that fastball on the top of the zone.
I think on screen it might look like the fastball's rising, but when you look at the numbers, it's not that unique. So I think it's more of the pitching form that has to do with it.
You have a great sense of humor, which you've been able to show. Where did Mike Imanaga II come from?
It started in the clubhouse where I was using the name, and then it got to the public.
You dressed up as one of the characters from Toy Story. Why did you do that?
So I knew that the rookies at the end of the year for the last road trip, they'll wear costumes. So I was wondering when it was going to be, and then I realized that was what we were doing.
Thanks so much, Shota. Dira, back over to you.
伝説の幕開け、今永昇太と帰る。タッカーが東京ドームで見せる圧巻の開幕戦、球史に刻まれる一戦が、ついに東京ドームで幕を開ける。これは単なるシーズンの開幕戦ではない。日本野球界の誇り、そしてメジャーリーグの新時代を告げる壮絶な戦いである。シカゴ、カブスの一員として初めてシーズンを迎える今永昇太が、日本の地で凱旋登板を果たし、その剛腕を振るう瞬間が訪れた。彼がメジャーリーグに挑戦し、数々の強打者たちを沈めてきた姿を目の当たりにしたファンも多いだろう。しかし、この東京ドームでの開幕戦は、彼にとっても特別な意味を持つ。なぜなら、相対するのは昨季ワールドシリーズを制覇した強豪チーム、ロサンゼルス、ドジャース。日本野球界の歴史に刻まれる開幕戦のマウンドに立つのは、彼しかいなかった。凱旋登板の今永昇太、侍の誇りを胸に戦う。日本野球界が誇る左腕。今永昇太、横浜 DNA ベイスターズでその実力を証明し、満を持たしてメジャーリーグに挑んだ彼は、1年目から圧巻の投球を見せ、確固たる地位を築いた。そして今、彼は新たな舞台でさらなる進化を遂げようとしている。メジャー1年目から安定した制球力と卓越した球質を武器に、並みいるスラッガーたちを沈めてきた今久し。そのピッチングはまさに芸術。日本の投手らしい精密なコントロールと、メジャー仕様のパワーを兼ね備えたその投球術は、もはや唯一無二の存在となっている。今回の開幕戦では、日本人投手同士による史上初の開幕戦先発対決が実現する。ドジャースのエースとして名乗りを上げた山本由伸との真剣勝負が、日本球界のファンを熱狂させることは間違いない。かつては共に日本で戦い、その後メジャーへとはたった2人のエース。彼らの投げ合いは、単なる開幕戦を超えた、日本野球の誇りをかけた戦いとなるだろう。また、今永昇太といえば、そのユーモアセンスと人間味あふれるキャラクターも大きな魅力の一つだ。チーム内では、マイク今永という愛称が定着しつつあり、彼の話術やコミュニケーション能力が注目されている。クラブハウスでは英語を駆使しながらも、日本的なユーモアを交えた会話でチームメイトたちを和ませ、ムードメーカーとしての役割も担っている。メジャーリーグで成功するためには、単に実力だけでなく、環境に溶け込む適応力も必要不可欠だ。その点で今永は、すでにチーム内で確固たる存在感を放っている。カイル、タッカー、新天地で覚醒なるか、カブス打線の核となる男。そして、今永と共にカブスの未来を担うもう一人の主役がいる。カイル、タッカーだ。かつてヒューストン、アストロズでリーグを席巻し、その類稀なるバッティングセンスと強肩で球界を沸かせた男。今季からカブスの一員として新たな戦いに挑むタッカーに対する期待は計り知れない。彼は特別な選手だ。カブスのフロント陣がタッカー獲得に動いた理由は、単に彼の成績が優秀だからではない。彼には、チームの中心となる資質があるのだ。パワー、ミート力、選球眼、走力、守備力、これらすべてを兼ね備えたごつ道具の持ち主として、今シーズンのカブスの命運を握る存在となることは間違いない。タッカーは、春季キャンプからすでに圧倒的な存在感を見せている。バットから放たれる強烈な打球は、まるでミサイルのようにスタンドへ突き刺さる。彼が打席に立つたびに、スタジアム全体が息を飲む。そんな彼が迎えるシーズン初戦。果たして、東京ドームでどんな衝撃を与えてくれるのか。東京ドーム開幕戦。見逃せない歴史的瞬間。これほどまでにドラマティックな開幕戦がかつてあっただろうか。 今永昇太と山本由伸が投げ合い、帰る。タッカーがカブスの新時代を切り開く。さらには、日本のファンが目撃することになる。マイク今永の新たな伝説。すべてが重なり合い、東京ドームは興奮のるつぼと化すことは間違いない。この試合が持つ意味は計り知れない。メジャーリーグの歴史に刻まれる日本人投手同士の開幕戦対決。そしてカブスにとって新たな時代の幕開けとなる一戦。今永昇太がどのようなピッチングを披露するのか。帰る。タッカーがどれだけの衝撃を与えるのか。そのすべてが歴史の一部となる。これこそが野球の真髄。侍の誇りを胸に戦う今永昇太。新天地で覚醒を遂げる帰る。タッカー。この二人がシカゴ、カブスにどんな未来をもたらすのか。野球史に刻まれる開幕戦を見逃すな。全世界がこの瞬間に釘付けになる。球史に刻まれる壮絶な戦いが、ついに幕を開ける。